know how teachers need like 45 minutes to teach a subject, and that you after that need to go study it at home? There's actually a better way to go about and learning and gaining this knowledge from school. I personally use it every single day I'm in school, and I can tell you I learn a lot more than if teachers would just try to teach me. I personally learn better by myself than with a teacher. Like if I were to go back to first grade and a teacher would try to explain to me why 1 plus 1 was 2, I think I'd just learn faster by myself through a textbook or something. And that's something that you need to determine for yourself. Am I better at learning by myself or with a teacher? That's the first thing you need to learn. But second, you should actually, if you learn better by yourself, you should actually learn by yourself while in class and just completely ignore the teacher. You know, usually while you are in class, the teacher usually just wastes a lot of time. So let's say your teacher is teaching multiplication 1 times 2, okay? That's what I meant to say. And he tries to explain to you why that is and how you do it. You can actually learn the entire subject by yourself like in 10 minutes. But the teacher somehow needs 45 minutes to do it. So if you learn faster by yourself, you should definitely just ignore the teacher completely and just focus on learning the subject and material by yourself. Now obviously, I do need to point out that the teacher will occasionally call you out. And once the teacher does that, you either need to know the subject well, or you need to just simply pay attention to what she is saying, because she might be explaining, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Jonathan, what is that? What does the mitochondria do? And then you may forget. So yeah, you need to by yourself decide when you should study by yourself and when should you listen to the teacher. But for most of the time, you should just study by yourself, because like I said, teachers waste a lot of time, and like this school thing is like a pretty ineffective for most people, because if you think about it, school is designed to teach a lot of people, but teachers teach like if someone has a problem, they take everybody's time to just try to solve one person's time. If someone doesn't understand why 1 plus 1 is 2, everyone needs to wait for the teacher to explain. Yes, 1 is 1 and 1 is 1. If you put 1 and 1 together, it's 2, and everyone just needs to sit there. So yeah, while your teacher is just explaining away and wasting time, you can actually just study the material yourself. Maybe you can do the homework from another subject or class. Maybe you can study for future subjects in your current subject. You can decide. But what I can tell you is that if you learn better by yourself, you should try to just completely ignore the teacher and teach yourself, okay? Because the teachers aren't very effective at teaching the whole class. Teachers are very good at teaching one person, but not an entire class, okay? Like I said, they waste a lot of time. So how do you actually go about and focusing and studying by yourself instead of listening to the teacher? One is, like I just said, to focus on what you are reading. Like studying while the teacher and other students are talking, it's kind of hard to focus, you know? Like you were trying to read the mitochondria as the my powerhouse, then Jonathan starts saying something, and then the girl you kind of like starts talking, then the teacher starts explaining something important. But you need to learn how to focus. Like doing this practice of studying by yourself and ignoring everyone else is basically like meditation. Meditation is the form that most people do, is that you just breathe and you are aware of your breathing. Inevitably, you will start to think thoughts. And the purpose of meditation is to bring your attention back to the breath. And so studying is basically like that. When you are reading, you will definitely lose your focus on other people are saying or to sounds around you, or maybe you'll just get some thoughts, okay? But this is like meditation. Once you notice that you are distracted, you bring your attention back to the material you're trying to study by yourself. And that's how you actually build great focus. Focus is basically like a muscle. And the more you train a muscle, the bigger it gets, the stronger it is. So if you keep on practicing this muscle of focusing, then you will inevitably just get better at focusing, you know? Fucking flies on my camera, bro. Stupid. So, and I do need to remind you, because this is gonna be very bad for you. All depends on the teacher, but if you completely ignore the teacher, occasionally they may call out on you. So I do need to remind you that you need to assess by yourself when you should study the material and when you should focus on the teacher. And something I do is, occasionally when I'm reading, I'll overhear the teacher explaining something important. And that's when I say, okay, she's explaining something important. I will manually and consciously take my focus on her. It's very important that you do consciously and not subconsciously or unconsciously, because then you're just basically getting distracted. But if you consciously take your focus on her, then you are basically still meditating and not getting distracted, because she is explaining something important and you need to listen to it. And teachers do know a lot about the subject, so they do know how to explain it very well. So yeah, sometimes you should listen to them, but most of the time you should just study by yourself if you are better at that, studying by yourself. But this is something that happens to me a lot. When you are in the middle of class and you don't have anything to study because you have already studied a lot, and you don't need to do it because you already know a lot about it, then if you haven't already, you can also do some homework from other classes. Or a better thing, or a better tactic, do the homework before your teacher even gives it out. So let's say you're in math class and your teacher usually would give you out I don't know, that entire page of homework. Well, you can do that beforehand, so you don't even have homework, and so that's how you can save time. Do the homework before they even give it out. Pretty big brain, huh? And if you want to know how you can stay focused in a noisy classroom and try to focus on this material, the subject you're trying to study, go click this video in the end screen when the dark will come and I will disappear. Yeah, and that video explains how you can stay focused and goes more in depth about how you can concentrate on the subject at hand and not get distracted by everyone else speaking and just wasting time. So if you want to increase your productivity and save time, go and click that video. So you have now learned how to be more productive. Now go use it and enjoy that saved time.